Lately, I've been thinking about what does it mean for us husbands to love our wives the way the Bible tells us. Now, I know for most of us, we love our wives based on our personalities, temperament, or how they behave toward us. But what does it exactly mean in real life to love our wives the way God would have us to love them? Now, there are three places in the New Testament that God lays out the basic principles of how the husband should love their wives. The first place is in Ephesians 5:25. It says, "Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her." Now, the Greek word for love is agapeo. It's the highest kind of love in Greek language. It is not a love that is based on emotion, feeling, or attraction, but it is a love that I have decided out of my own will to love you, to do what is good for you, and to look out for your best interest, to always do what I can to manifest my love for you, not because you deserve it, not because you earned it, but because this is what I choose to do. It's a kind of love that is based on will, not emotion. Now, for us men to think that out of maybe all the women that we have known, we chose our wives, we selected them to enter into a marital covenant relationship with them. And because I am in a covenant with you, God commands me to love you and to always look out for your best interest, to do what is good for you. Now, I personally have come to the conclusion that behind every command that God gives, there is usually a principle. Sometimes we may discover those principles, and sometimes we don't. But here, I think there is a principle for love that is hidden. God doesn't tell us why we should do certain things. He just simply says, do it this way. But you see, when we choose to do something good for a person, or to always look out for their interest, their well-being above our own, that person becomes valuable for us, becomes valuable to us. And we ultimately fall in love with whatever is valuable. But the other side is true too. When we don't care about the person, when we don't show much affection, or we don't have their best interest at heart, that person gradually becomes devalued in our eyes. And it is easy to walk away from somebody that is devalued. But we cannot walk away from someone that we have paid a price for, that they matter to us, that we cared for them, we looked out for their best interest. They become valuable, and over time, that's how we truly fall in love with that person. Not based on our emotions or based on how we feel at the moment, but that I choose to do what is good for you. That's the first way that God tells us to love our wives. The second one is found in the same book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 28 and 29. We read, "Husbands should love their wives as their own bodies. No one ever hated his own flesh, but nourishes and cherishes it, just as Christ does the church." Now, there are two words here that are very important. The word nourish and cherish. The word nourish means to bring up to maturity. And cherish means to impart warmth, to keep warm. In our walk with Christ, as we grow to maturity, Christ is always there with emotional support. He cares for us. He doesn't belittle us or condemn us just because we make a mistake. But He's an encourager. He's patient with us. In the same way, the husbands to their wives, we need to allow our wives to grow into their own personhood. And when they fall short, when they make a mistake, we need to be there with support, with emotional warmth, with caring. We need to create an atmosphere for them that they feel warmth, that they know that we care for them. And if they make a mistake or something goes wrong, we don't belittle them, we don't put them down, but we are supportive, we care. Not everything is the end of the world. But you see, we don't want to be emotionally cold toward our wives. We want to be warm. They need to know that we are always for them, that we are never against them, no matter what. And if they have other interests that they want to grow, that they want to, there are certain things that maybe they want to do, we need to be supportive of them and help them emotionally and in any way we can to help them to grow into those endeavors, to be supportive as they grow, warmth and caring for them. The third one, the way God shows us how to love our wives, is found in Colossians chapter 3, verse 19. We read, "Husbands, love your wives and do not be harsh with them." Now the word harsh, it has an idea of being bitter, resentful, sharp, irritated. When we are emotionally harsh with them, when we have an irritated tone, when something is not right, we get irritable, we become cold. Now most of us men, we are more sensitive than we admit, and we usually internalize our feeling. Something happens and it bothers us. Instead of bringing it up in a good time where we can talk about it, we internalize those feelings. And when we internalize them, then it begins to manifest itself in the way we behave toward our wives. And our wives may not even know, why are we irritated? Why are we short? Why are we answering in a cold way? All because we are irritated. We are kind of maybe wounded internally. And now, instead of bringing it up, we let it show in our behavior. Now, that is something that I think is detrimental to a good marriage in the long run, when we are emotionally cold and when we emotionally withdraw ourselves, when we give silent treatment when there is a problem or there is an issue that has arisen, instead of bringing it up in a good time, in a time that maybe our spouse is not even thinking about that situation, and bringing it up in a form of question and telling her, how did that make us feel, or what we think about something. But instead, we internalize it, we withdraw ourselves, and our wives may not know, why is he behaving this way? This is what it means to be harsh, irritated, and cold toward our wives. So to summarize, our attitude needs to be one of always doing what is good for her, supporting her. I know many husbands have told me over the years that I never feel like I'm appreciated. I go to work every day, I try to do what is good, I try to be there for my wife, but I never feel that she appreciates what I do. But you see, it isn't because she appreciates it or not, but it is because God tells us to behave this way, irregardless of how she behaves. I know that that is sometimes very difficult, because it would be easy to love someone when they show appreciation, when they show that they realize what you do for them. But even if they don't, You want to obey God because you want to obey God, because God's words carry weight with you, not because she deserves it. And second, we want to have a warm environment for her to grow as a person. We want to be encouraging. We want to be kind. We want to be supportive in who she's becoming and maybe in the areas that she has interest with. And we don't want to be harsh with them. We don't want to be bitter. We don't want to act in an irritated way. We don't want to make every little thing to become a huge thing and begin to withdraw ourselves and act cold, but to always bring things up in the right way and resolve them, and always be kind to her in our responses, in our tone, in the way that we talk to her. So these are 3 ways that we can look and see how God would have us to love our wives in a real life experience. Until next time, may the Lord be with you. May He watch over you. May He make His face to shine upon you. This is David Sami with A Christian Journey.